I find this problem very funny because when you first look at it, it seems so simple. You are given a binary tree and you just have to find out what is the total count of all the nodes, correct? It starts to get tricky when you have to do it in the fastest way possible. So let's see what we can do about it. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. First, I will go over the problem statement and we will look at some sample test cases. After that, I want to do a brief overview about what do you actually mean by a complete binary tree. We will look at an iterative solution and a recursive solution as well. After that, as usual, we will also do a dry run of the code so that you can understand and visualize how all of this is actually working in action. Without further ado, let's get started. As I said earlier, the problem itself is very straightforward. You are given a binary tree and you just have to return me the total number of nodes present in that tree. So for example, I have these two test cases with me. For the first test case, I have 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6. I have a total of 6 nodes, correct? So you simply need to return 6 as your answer. And similarly, in your second test case, you have 3 nodes, right? So you will return 3 as your answer. Now, it may seem very straightforward, but the key term over here is that this is a complete binary tree. So we must first understand what do you actually mean by a complete binary tree. Only then you will be able to move ahead and come up with a fast solution. So what is actually a complete binary tree? Let us dial back things a little bit. When you say a binary tree, what do you mean? Binary means 2. So every node can have a maximum of 2 children, right? So what is a complete binary tree? A complete binary tree is a specific case of a binary tree where you have two particular conditions. The first condition is that every level except the last level, it should be completely filled. So for example, I have this binary tree in front of me, right? So when I'm talking about the first level, I can never have more than one node over here, right? So this level is completely filled. Similarly, for the second level, I can never have more than 2 nodes, right? So this is also completely filled. Similarly, look at the third level. In the third level, you can never have more than 4 children, right? So this is what do you mean by the maximum number of nodes at every level. So one property of a complete binary tree is that all of the levels should be completely filled except the last one. In the last level, you can either keep it entirely full or you can have some elements. So for example, this is full, this is full, this is full, but look at this last level. This is not completely full, right? So this is satisfying my criteria of a complete binary tree. And the next condition of a complete binary tree is that all the nodes in the last level should be at the leftmost level as possible. It simply means that these two nodes can only be here. If these two nodes are over here, then this will not be a complete binary tree. All of the nodes should start at the very left and then you should fill your entire level. To understand it even better, let us look at some examples. For my first example, what do you see over here? I see that every level is full and even in the last level, all of my nodes are towards the left. I do not have a node over here or I do not have any node that is empty in between. So this particular tree, it is validating both of these conditions, right? So I can say that yes, this is a complete binary tree. Look at the second example now. This tree seems small, right? But it is satisfying both of your conditions. All of the levels are completely full. You cannot have more elements, correct? And all of the elements, even in the last level, they are at the very left. So this is also valid and you will call it as a complete binary tree. Similarly, when you have more nodes, look at this. This level is complete, second level is complete, and the third level is also complete. So this is once again a complete binary tree. Now comes an interesting case. Look at this particular example. For the first level, you can only have one node, well and good. For the second level, you can only have 2 nodes, so well and good. Now look at the last level. For a complete binary tree, I have this particular condition, right? Every level should have maximum nodes except the last one. So this is valid, right? But the second condition should also be true. All of the nodes should be as left as possible. But if you notice, I have a blank space over here. This node could have gone over here, right? So this is not a complete binary tree. Similarly, if you have just a single node, it is satisfying both of your conditions and you will call it to be a complete binary tree. Similarly, for the last test case, this level is complete, this level is complete, but in my last level, all of the elements are not towards the absolute left. So this is also not a complete binary tree. So now you understand that, hey, what is a complete binary tree? And we will take advantage of this fact. We are gonna take advantage of the fact that, okay, towards the left, I have more tendency to find a complete binary tree, but not towards the right. Over the right, we can have some blank spaces as well, correct? So based upon this, let us try to come up with a solution. The first solution that comes to your mind is very, very obvious. Let us say you are given a binary tree like this, and it is given that this is a complete binary tree. You have to find out the total number of nodes. So immediately you can apply the level order traversal. In a level order traversal, you will go level by level and then keep on counting all of the nodes, right? At the very end, you will have your count and you can simply return it. This method works and it will give you a correct answer every time. The problem is that the time and the space complexity of this method is order of n, because you need that extra space to maintain your queue data structure by which you are doing a level order traversal, correct? And in the level order traversal, you will have to iterate over each of the node. That is taking up a lot of your time. So the time becomes order of n. Certainly, we want to improve it. So what can we do about it? Let us have a look now. On the left side of your screen, we will have the complete code by which you can count the total number of nodes. And on the right, currently I have this binary tree and it is a complete binary tree, right? Notice that I do not have any gaps in my last level right now. So the root of this binary tree is passed in as an input parameter to the function count nodes, correct? So first of all, what we do is we try to find out, okay, what is the left depth of the tree and what is the right depth. The left and the right depth simply means that you keep on going left until you reach a null and you keep on going right until you reach a null. That is how you can determine that, okay, how many levels do I have on the left side and how many levels do I have on the right side. So I am taking two of these values. I am finding the left depth and the right depth. And how do I do it? I have these two helper functions. Notice what we do over here. For example, when I have to find out the right depth, what do? I take in a parameter that is the node where I am currently at. So right now, this node will be passed in as the root, correct? Next, I initialize a value that the depth is 0 right now. And then what do? I run a while loop until my value is null. And what do? For every iteration, I do root.right. So I'm at my this node, I go to the right value, then once again I go to the right value, and once again I go to the right value until I reach a null. And with every iteration, I do a depth plus plus. So I will know that, okay, what is the depth on the right side of the tree? And I can simply return it, correct? Similarly, you will now calculate the left depth also. So you will start from the root and then you will keep on doing root.left until you reach a null. So you start from here, you go left, you again go left, and then you again go left and you reach a null. For every iteration, you do a plus one. So now you know that, okay, on the left, my depth is this, and on the right, my depth is this. Wonderful. For this particular test case, the left depth is 3 and the right depth is also 3, correct? So what do you have over here? I have a if condition. If my left depth and the right depth are the same, that means I have a perfect binary tree. And in a perfect binary tree, all of the nodes will have 2 children and last level will not have any children. So when you have n levels of a perfect binary tree, such as example this one, the value of n is 3, right? Where n is the number of levels. In such a condition, the total number of nodes will always be 2 to the power of n minus 1. So that is exactly what we do. We do this power and then subtract a 1 and we can simply return it. Correct? So this is the happy case. This happens when your left depth and the right depth are the same. So far so good. Correct? There should be one question in your mind. What happens if the left depth and the right depth are not the same? So this is where we have a more generic case. Look in this tree. On the left, my depth is 4 and on the right, my depth is 3. Correct? So what do you do now? This is where I have this else condition. Now look closely what we are doing over here. In this else condition, what do? You take a 1 and then you add count nodes with root dot left. So what will this do? This loop will now run a recursion on the left child of your tree. So basically what will happen is this tree gets passed in as an input parameter once again to your function count nodes. Correct? And look closely. This tree is the same tree that we had discussed earlier. So what will basically happen is this loop will now run and it will return you the total number of nodes based upon the left depth and the right depth. And eventually this function will return you the value 7. Correct? So over here I have 1 plus 7. And then what do you have? You have count nodes and you call it on the right subtree. So what will basically happen is you are gonna call your function with this subtree. And this time this will get passed in your input parameter. This recursive call will happen again and you will find out, okay, the left depth is 2 and the right depth is 1. Once again, this is not the same. So once again, you will send this small tree and this small tree. This will recurse again and ultimately you will have just a single node. So this recursion will come back and you will have found out that, okay, the total count in my right subtree is 4. So in the end, you will return 1 plus of 7 and then plus of 4. So all of these values will add up and then ultimately this statement is gonna return your answer. So you notice how we took advantage of a complete binary tree. When you are doing a divide and conquer approach, you know that towards the left, there is a very high chance that you will find a complete binary tree. And then you can easily find out that, okay, what is the total number of nodes? Similarly, it is possible that you will have complete binary trees towards your left in the other child as well. So once again, you take advantage of that. So this is what is speeding up your entire process. Calculating the total number of nodes in a complete binary tree happens in just log n time, right? So this is how you are able to speed up your complexity. In fact, the total time complexity of this solution is order of log n multiplied by log n. That is because you take a log n amount of time to find out the left depth and then the right depth. And the space complexity of this solution is also order of log n because you will only need log n amount of space to store your recursive stack. I hope I was able to simplify the problem and its solution for you. As per my final thoughts, I just want to say that this problem heavily relies on the fact that you understand the term complete binary tree very, very clearly. Because if you think about it, there are a lot of theoretical concepts. There is a complete binary tree. There is a perfect binary tree. So it is always a good idea that you keep brushing up your skills. Because if you are clear that, okay, this is what it means, only then you will be able to come up with an optimal solution. So I would not recommend that go into very depth about all the theoretical concepts, but just keep an overview about the major ones. That is all I have. So while going throughout the video, did you face any problems? Or do you know about any other method by which you can compute this even efficiently? Do let me know everything in the comment section below and I would love to discuss all of it with you. As a reminder, if you found this video helpful, please do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This motivates me to make more and more such videos where I simplify programming for you. Also, a huge shout out to all the members who support my channel. You guys really keep me going. And as a member, you do get priority reply to your comments as well. Stay tuned for my next video. And until then, see ya.